everyone, my name is Vita Vasilenko and I'm the founder of Resume Lust, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to get ready for your Zoom, Skype or Google Meet interviews. And as we all know, the reality of today's life is that a lot of things are done online, so it's perfect timing to learn how to be as professional as you can get to score as much in your interview scoreboard as possible. So I'd like to talk about my personal story. What do I normally do in order to prepare myself for a Zoom or online job interview? So definitely, I usually try to research the company culture as much as possible to see whether they're really official or they're a little bit more relaxed with their dress code and dress appropriately. Because obviously, if you are interviewing for a bank interview, you probably want to make sure that you dress up. You're probably, if you're a guy, you want to wear a collared shirt and sometimes even a jacket. And if you're a girl, you want to wear something more official, something that you would normally wear to a bank on a normal day when everything is open and you're in your office and trying to follow their dress code. And then another thing that I personally do is I treat each Zoom interview as a real one. So disregard that you are probably sitting in your kitchen or your living room and trying to communicate to the prospective employer to make sure that you're the one for them to be hired. And imagine that you're in the office setting, you're in this conference room, you walk in, you are still trying to show the body language and everything that goes into a real life interview. That's why pretend that you're in a real life setting and dress up appropriately and make sure that you're not wearing pajamas underneath. Just really get into that whole swing of things as if you're in the office. And of course, always I try to imagine that it's always a real life meeting. This person is sitting right in front of me and I can shake their hand if needed. So I really try to make sure that the feeling is real, and only then this person would really truly feel that I'm very engaged and right there with the interview. Okay, so let's talk about 10 steps on how to ace your Zoom, Skype or Google Meet interview. Step number 1, dress up appropriately. So it is recommended to wear something neutral, something in black, gray, blue, brown. Those are the best colors for your attire. Something that is not sticking out too much, something that is very easy to look at and not too bright. You can always accessorize, if you're a girl, accessorize that with something bright, with potentially a necklace or some accessory that would stand out and make you look a little bit more fashionable if you're more into that. And of course, always think about what kind of audience you're talking to. Step number 2, always practice using Zoom, Skype, Google Meets, whatever is your company using for the interview platform. It is definitely very important to test your camera connection, your sound, your internet connection, everything that goes into that, just because sometimes technology fails, or you might not be as tech savvy, or maybe not as, it's not a habit for you to be always on Zoom and on a video call. So that's why it is my recommendation to always test it ahead of time. And perhaps you have a friend or a family member who could call you in and see how you look like on the screen and how the sound goes through, and if it goes through or not, if there are any delays in the connection. And this way you will look very professional when you actually get to talk to your job interviewer. Step number 3, look into the camera while you're speaking. This is what I'm doing right now, and sometimes it's not very intuitive just because it is much easier to look into somebody's eyes, but just imagine that this camera is somebody's face and you always want to direct yourself at that, and this would create this effect that you are truly talking to this person, and it will recreate the real life experience as if you're speaking in front of each other. It's hard, but definitely it's worth it, trust me. Step number 4, choose a professional background. It's actually really funny. Once I had a client who was going for his Amazon interview. He was incredible, his background was great, and then he asked me, let's do some mock interviews together. And first thing that I noticed when he turned on his camera was the background. And he has a big family, so it's understood that there is a lot of things going on, and sometimes it is hard to find this perfect setting for your camera call. But he had some boxes with some toys and things like this in the background, and it's something that will distract the viewer from you, from the person who is being interviewed. So definitely keep in mind that your background should be clear, it should have a solid color ideally, or potentially, you know, a bookcase or something that looks very professional and doesn't distract the viewer from you. Step number 5, find a brightly lit room. It is very important so that there is enough light and your face is seen well. You don't want to appear as if you're a shadow or half of your face is not seen. So always test the lighting, potentially buy a special lamp that might light up your face. Those lamps are literally $30 on Amazon. You can probably find something used for even cheaper, and it is the new reality nowadays, so you definitely want to keep something handy around, something that you can use and reuse for later things. So it is definitely a great investment for you, and so always look for a good light for your videos. Step number 6, pick a quiet place. And I know sometimes it can get hard, and it gets hard, and I just remember that video with the BBC guy who was on his interview call, and then his daughter crawled in, and then the mother came in, and they were trying to be discreet, but it is hard sometimes when you have a family, or you live with your roommates, or even, you know, some friends and so on. So you still want to make sure that for this dedicated call that is probably scheduled ahead of time, you find a quiet place with no noise, and it will also be helpful for you to be in this nice, comfortable surrounding so that you're more comfortable talking and there are no noises behind you. Step number 7, mute yourself when your interviewer is talking. And it is very important, as sometimes things could happen. You know, a dog could start barking, or potentially your neighbor decides to drill something upstairs or downstairs, and that sound might travel through. So when you see that your interviewer is talking and it might take a few minutes, you can always mute yourself. And this is just a courtesy thing, and this way he won't hear anything in the background, and it will be easier for him to get through through those waves, through the technology too. So it's going to be easier for everyone to hear and to talk as well. Step number 8, silence your phone and any other desktop notifications. This is very important because I know we have a lot of different devices. We have iPhones, we have, you know, Apple Watches. Of course, you're probably talking through your laptop or your desktop computer. So you really want to make sure that all the notifications are on mute, silent, and you're not getting any messages and get distracted. Just think about it as if you're having a dinner with your best friend who you haven't seen for a while, and you probably want to dedicate the entire dinner time to them, to listening to them, to talking to them, spending some time. So just think about this in the same way. It is very important that you're not distracted, because it also can appear a little bit rude. Step number 9, use your laptop or computer. Sometimes we are on a go, and sometimes it might catch you off guard that you have an interview. Hopefully it won't catch you off guard too much, just because I personally recommend that you truly train and get ready for any job interview that you might have, and you look as professional as possible, especially if you're really passionate about the job that you've applied for. And just as a courtesy thing, you really want to make sure that your sound is great, you are not using your iPhone for those job interviews, as sometimes you might not have a stand for it, so the picture might appear shaky, and the sound may not be as great as when you would have used your laptop actually. So yeah, always make sure that your laptop is charged. So sometimes those calls can go over 1 hour. Sometimes you might have an entire day of different calls, and you really want to make sure that the battery is fully charged or you're constantly plugged in, so there are no interruptions in those online calls with your potential employer. And step number 10, final step, use appropriate body language. This is very important. As I already mentioned, always try looking into the camera, so it creates that effect of communicating with the person directly, as if you're looking at them. Smile, nod when they're saying something. This is just as in real life. You want to make sure that they understand that you're listening, you're still with them, and you're not distracted by anything else. You might want to use your hands if this is something that you do in real life. Don't overdo it, just because if it's not natural to you, it might look a little bit funny on the video. But if it is something that you do on a daily basis, this is something that you might also incorporate into your Zoom video call. I think why not? It's part of your personality, and this is who they get to work with, so it's great. And another thing I wanted to mention is that video calls are really great. They are a great alternative to real life meetings. That's why it's very important to dress up appropriately, act as if you're meeting in real life, look at the interviewer and have that eye contact through the camera, and be respectful to their time and to their picture, what they're seeing on the other side. So thank you so much for listening, and make sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel. I will be very happy. And of course, leave a comment if there is something else you'd like to hear more about. Thank you.